Good morning, Rolling Stoners. We are at the Jazz Farm on Route 420, and this is actually my first interview. And I'm really awesomely lucky to get to ask Myrtle about our brand new edition 7 cover, which she actually did. She did the artwork for that. You'll be seeing it when the magazine comes out. We're just going to ask her a few questions about how it came about and why it's special. It is layered with a lot of symbolism and legal text. Bold colors, it has social commentary. It seems to merge art activism and our constitutional rights into a single visual narrative, making it particularly, like that word, fascinating piece to discuss. As Fields of Green, you have used art as part of your advocacy for cannabis and law reform and constitutional rights for pretty much from you started. It's been a thread that runs through, the beautiful artwork that you even see here at Jazz Farm. What inspired you to create this cover, and what was the story you wanted to tell?
Well, I think it was the OG RollingStoner that inspired me to do the cover. Cameron invited me to create an artwork for this cover, and of course I said yes all along. I've had the career of many careers, and originally when I left school I went to FITS and I did a fine arts degree. I ended up teaching high school art for a number of years to pay back my student loans. That's always been behind everything that we do to meld our message for the relegalization of our use of cannabis in South Africa with both Jules and myself's passion for making beautiful spaces and beautiful things. So it was a combination. And sometimes my art can get buried in the activism and the craziness of it. I really feel a deep personal need to use my art in my work. It doesn't always come out, but when I get the opportunity to, I always jump at it.
What emotion did you hope readers would feel before they even opened the magazine?
Well, I hope that people felt, well, it's people at the center of it all. It's not even necessarily the cannabis plant, because remember, the cannabis plant can't be illegal. A plant can't be illegal. It's our use of this plant. It's our relationship with this plant. So it really is more about the people than the cannabis.
The words human rights dominate the cover. Why was it important to place those words front and center for you?
Right in the beginning, Jules and I were given a book called The Cannabis Law Report, Human Rights and the Law. And we never really thought of it right in the beginning as a human rights issue until we read this book. And then we realized, the light came on. Because as humans, we have got inalienable rights under United Nations Human Rights Conventions and also under our South African Constitution and our Bill of Rights. So the word human is super important. The law will take care of our rights, putting humans at the center of it, and that's why it dominates the cover.
The background appears to be made from legal documents and actual court papers. What do these documents represent to you?
Well, I love collage as a medium. I do a lot of mixed media and collage in my personal artwork. And I just thought the gap between what's written on a piece of paper and our human rights is so big, because that law that is written on that piece of paper is the end of it, full stop. It's written on that piece of paper, so it must be true.
Must exist.
So I wanted to combine the words that were written in our various judgments, and I just made copies of the Constitutional Court judgment of 2018. I've been working on a paper for the International Journal of Drug Policy on dacha private clubs. So I took the main pages from that and I just sent them through my printer. And then I wanted to collage all of those together so that they became like the fabric of what we need to create the foundation of our human rights, and then to visually all bring it together with both black and white and color.
Now talking about the color, you've used specifically the green, yellow, red and blue. Was there any meaning in particular for that for you?
Well, those are the primary colors.
Yeah.
I didn't want to scream red, yellow and green. So I add a little bit of blue to balance it out. But of course, yeah, red, yellow, and green are the colors of our cannabis community, more specifically of the Rastafari nations. And it just gives a visual message that you don't necessarily need to explain.
Then there are several hidden visual elements throughout the collage. Are there any details you think viewers often might miss?
Yes, there's a little layered architectural and landscape details within the picture, and I think that puts our humanness in context. So we embody spaces, urban spaces and rural spaces. So what I did is I took my own photographs of Cape Town, Johannesburg and Durban, and I layered those down together with the sea and the mountains as the background. And it just so happened that my printer was running out of ink, so those black and white photographs came out sort of slightly bluish, grayish, and then that created a background that represents our grey area that is cannabis law reform at the moment.
Which is still in very much of a grey area. So with art meeting activism, do you see yourself primarily as an activist who creates art, or an artist whose work inspires activism?
Oh, I think the first one. Because, our activism fills our days here at Fields of Green for All. So I think I'm an activist who creates art. Maybe one day when I'm retired, I will be an artist with activism in the background. But we'll see when we can flip that script.
How has art helped communicate the message of cannabis reform differently from legal political arguments?
I think legal political arguments are really cold, There's this disconnect between us and the government, and it's a continual struggle to try and get the government to listen to us. So I think that art is a universal language. I mean, at the moment we're speaking to some artists in Mexico about doing a South-South collaboration with an art project that they started there about stigma against cannabis. And because it's such a universal language, we really need to bring it to the fore, because after all, cannabis makes you creative. I know it, I've proved it, I'm the living embodiment of it.
Oh. So from your personal journey side, which is what you're really explaining, how has your journey with Fields of Green for All influenced your artistic expression?
I designed the new branding for Fields of Green for All. Go and have a look at our website. As a wallpaper of cannabis leaves, and then we've taken that wallpaper and reinterpreted in the various aspects of our branding. And I think that was really the first time that I used my own personal art, because it was always in the background. And since losing Jules, I have an amazing art therapist, and she has really been encouraging me to use my art as a form of expression inside the activism. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So now the next one was creating this cover, an emotional process for you.
Oh yes, it really was, because it brought me back right to the beginning when we learned that cannabis was a human rights issue. And I was working to a little bit of a deadline because I'm a terrible procrastinator. I had to try and come up with a relatable image that was rooted in South Africa. It really was an emotional experience because it made me think of all sorts of layers of this incredible complex thing that's called cannabis in South Africa.
What part of the artwork feels the most personal?
The tower. The Johannesburg Tower, because Joburg is my city. I always say it's the greatest city on earth, so I put it in the center. And Joburg is a much maligned city, but when I was growing up in small towns all around South Africa, all I wanted to do was live in Johannesburg, and it still is this amazing, hustling, bustling, crazy African city that is very dear to my heart.
So with that, what conversations do you hope this cover starts among people who may never have thought about cannabis or the law before, and they're just enjoying it, not realizing how far it's had to go through and what it's been through to get to this point?
It made me think of when Jules and I did our TED Talk in the Cape Town City Hall in 2015. During the TED Talk, somebody was sitting in the audience tweeting. After the talk, we looked at what was then Twitter, and this person said, "I can't believe I'm sitting listening to a TED Talk where they're saying that dacha is a human rights issue." And that has always stuck with me. People don't really see how cannabis is a human rights issue, and that little tweet from 2015 was certainly in the back of my mind.
Creative process. What was your creative process from concept to final piece?
It's changed quite a bit. It changed quite a bit along the way. I wanted to use very African images, so I did actually saw some images that fitted in with like an Afro chic kind of aesthetic, and I wanted to put the people at the center. So that's where I started. So I started with the images of the people, and then all the photocopies from the various legal documents, and then I layered it from there.
Were to redesign this cover 5 years from now, what would you hope would be different?
I should imagine it would have a huge word called victory.
That'll be cool, wouldn't it? So that's what success would like for Fields of Green for the next decade, getting to that point where we have victory over the law.
Yes,
and
I'm hoping that our human rights are protected to the point where I can just slink into the background and sit and draw and paint and crochet on my stool.
What a life. That sounds bliss. So here's a real Rolling Stoner question. If this cover had a soundtrack, what song would it be playing?
Police in helicopters, search for marijuana. Certainly that song.
If every South African spent just 1 minute looking at this cover, what would you hope they walked away thinking?
Yes, there is really a bigger picture here. Amongst all the noise, there's a bigger picture that is often neglected and ignored.
This artwork had a little beyond human rights. What would you call it?
What would I call it? Beyond human rights. We all just want to get home.
Love that. So thank you, Myrtle, for the opportunity to talk to us more about the cover and the cover itself, and also about the broader movement, because that's what it is. And it's an intersection of art and an advocacy, and it captures the vision behind Fields of Green for All, which I think is exactly what we're hoping to do with breaking stigma and actually educating people about cannabis laws and human rights, which we forget is a natural human right to have, like water or air. So thank you, Myrtle, for chatting to me this morning. For the rest of you Rolling Stoners, keep rolling.
I just want to thank RollingStoner, Cameron and Tasz, and the whole team that works in the background. You know, you guys have become part of our family here at the Jazz Farm, and it really is such a pleasure, because this is a huge, huge task, breaking the stigma against cannabis in South Africa, and you guys are playing such an important role, and we'd just like to, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you guys.
Thank you, Myrtle.
Get your copy of RollingStoner Edition 7.